we come to our last story before I get into my reviews for tonight. And this is from The Direct. And DC's rumored new boss pokes fun at Snyderverse fans. Dan Lin. Director Zack Snyder was once poised to lead the DCU after kicking it off with Man of Steel and doing his first team up with Batman v Superman. That was until his vision of 2017's Justice League fell apart due to studio interference, one that wouldn't be seen until it landed on HBO Max in 2021 after a viral campaign. Viral campaign, sure. He entered the campaign and released the Snyder Cut, was finally satisfied 4 years later. The director's controversial fan base showed no signs of slowing down. Yup. Viral calls across social media quickly emerged to restore the Snyderverse for good and continue the multi-chapter nightmare storyline the director began. The DCU has since struggled to form any definitive version for the future, but Warner Bros. Discovery is now determined to form a cohesive universe after a change of management. Part of that, DC Films will appoint a new team to oversee the franchise and create a 10-year plan going forward. Producer Dan Lin, an avid DC fan who almost led the franchise over a decade ago, he was supposed to produce. I feel like he was one of the guys that was involved in George Miller's Justice League movie, Justice League Mortal. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's probably the front runner for the top job. But unfortunately for some, Lin's appointment spells trouble for any potential Snyderverse revival. Reports recently surfaced to indicate the producer, Dan Lin, is in talks to lead the DC franchise going forward. Lin was almost given the keys to DC's. Here it is. DC came back in 2008 when he was producing George Miller's Justice League Mortal, which ultimately never saw the light of day. You can find concept art and also some of the actors in costume. Speaking on the Ankler Hot Seat podcast in early August, Lin poked fun at fans of Zack Snyder's DC movies when discussing his aspirations to lead the franchise over a decade ago. After discussing the disappointment that his DC leadership never came to be back in the day, the host joked that those crazy Snyderverse fans would have come after him at some point if he had. Lin responded by calling Snyder enthusiasts Autobots in reference to the robotic Transformer protagonists. Dan Lin has yet to be appointed DC Films' new president. In fact, the last reports claimed an offer hasn't been made, as there are still conflicts to resolve. However, there is plenty to suggest why he would be an excellent choice due to his producing experience, DC fandom, and clear interest in the job. I mean, listen. So apparently, the last thing that I've been aware of this guy, he produced the Batman Lego movie, which I thought was fucking funny. I really liked that movie. That's my favorite of the Lego movies, chat. And I was like, this is really good. He's had some history producing various DC content. Oh, he did. He produced the It movies. Okay, so this guy has fucking experience, and people are all saying that he's a big DC fan. So I'd be very curious to see how he would handle this. Maybe he could be DC's Kevin Feige. I would love that, guys. That's what this brand, that's what this franchise needs. You need to have a guy who has those sensibilities, that business savvy as a producer, which Kevin Feige has. But I think another part of it is you have to be knowledgeable about your brand. You have to know these characters and know these storylines. Have a love for them, or at least appoint people that have a love for them and can capitalize on the strengths. And I feel like DC has floundered at that for quite some time. Getting people who completely misunderstand these characters and seeing it through a very truncated, limited lens. And this guy can be that. I'm all for it. I'm very, very happy if he can be that chap. But hearing this, do you guys care? I mean, do you think, DC needs a Kevin Feige-esque person in control? I personally do. But let me know. Oh, they floundered that for decades. I guess that's true. I mean, thinking all the way back, most definitely. Oh, he produced the Downey Show, which I'm not a big fan of. Not a big fan of those Downey Sherlock Holmes movies. I'm very happy. We talked about that yesterday on 8-Bit. Very happy Harley Quinn got a new season confirmed. I would have checked because, I said this last night. I'm like, I think the show's done. I thought, they don't want to have all this negative news out there. I thought as soon as the third season's over, it'd be like, and it's canceled. I'll be like, fuck. So I was very surprised they renewed it for a fourth season. I was like, really? Wow. Okay. Christian, I just don't care anymore. Just give me good movies, please. Please. Kaylin's like, no, that's fair. Because we just don't know yet. I think DC has been starving for a Kevin Feige producer for too long. I'm very happy that he's coming on board to lead with direction. Me too. Blade will start shooting October 5th. Nice. I bet we'll hear more details about Blade this upcoming week. That's good. That's good show. Yeah. So, we'll eventually see. But those are some of the stories I want to talk about. Thank you again for that Henry Cavill article as well. Hoping that he can find a superhero role that will work for him, chat. I wish him well.